see. Hey, Julia and Jill, are you where you can see? Oh, Antonio's going to the restroom. Okay. Hey, Samuel and what's his name? Yeah. What's it? Nathan, can you see from there? Can you see from the screen from right there? All right. All right, we are ready to start. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. And welcome back to Emerald Crossing. We can be live. Gavin, are we live? All right, very good. Thank you. I see you got your cup of tea there, Mr. Jim.
Yeah, I went to the coffee. Yeah, I went to the coffee.
Just hold it all the way up. Just hold it all the way up. It's on.
Okay. Yeah, I went to the coffee shop, and it was a real mess.
Why? What happened?
Well, the barista started pouring my cup of coffee, but she got distracted talking to another customer. Before I knew it, my cup was overflowing and running all over the floor.
Oh my, so that's a overflowing cup of coffee.
It sure was. I was so annoyed. The cup was so filled, it didn't just go on the floor, it spilled on me too. I've been grumbling about it ever since.
Well, you know that God wants us to go from grumbling to grateful, because as we can be grateful for how overflowing God's blessings are. Look at this behind us. We've got grumbling and grateful. We want to turn from going this direction, grumbling, and go this direction of being grateful. That's what we're going to talk about a little bit tonight. I know you care about me. I know you care about me. All right, let's stay standing for one more, at least one more. Let's see. Oh, two more. Psalm 23.
Psalm 23, 5.
Verse 5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. My cup overflows. My cup overflows. Flows. Overflows. Overflows. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Overflows. 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 Prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You prepare my head with oil. My cup overflows. All right, so we're on our way to memorizing that verse. Now we'll sing one more song, our theme song, I think. Let's see. Here we go. We're off to find a better land to find. Come on, everyone, don't be left behind. Be lifted from the miry clay, count it all as lost. The only way from here to there is Jesus on the cross. Here we go. Through the emerald crossing, don't be slow. My life is here for living. Here we go. Through the emerald crossing, The only way from here to there is Jesus on the cross. Lighty, 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 lee. Lighty, 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 dee. Lighty, 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 dee. The only way from here to there is Jesus on the cross. One fall to darkness, let Jesus light the way. When fear comes down upon you, peace and rod remains. Your little grumbles, praise with gratitude. If you're solid rock, Jesus is the truth. Here we go. To the emerald crossing, don't be slow. And life is here for living. Here we go. Through the emerald crossing, and through the way from here to there is Jesus on the cross. Lighty, 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 dee. Lighty, 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 dee. Lighty, 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 dee. The only way from here to there is Jesus on the cross. Yep. Here we go. Don't be slow. All aboard. Next crossing. Here we go. Through the emerald crossing, don't be slow. Life is here for living. Here we go. And through the emerald crossing, the only way from here to there is Jesus on the cross. Lighty, 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 dee. Lighty, 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 dee. Lighty, 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 dee. Only way from here to there is Jesus on the cross. Only way from here to there is Jesus on the cross. All right. Thank you for singing along. I heard some of you. All right. We'll keep learning those songs through tomorrow. And if we have time, we'll sing a little bit more before our creature feature. If not, we'll definitely be singing when we come back again tomorrow for the last night. And here we are taking a little tour through Ireland, telling you a little bit about Ireland. And tonight we come to enemy territory, Dublin, Ireland. Dublin, Ireland. Now we're going to call it enemy territory tonight because that is where the Vikings landed in Ireland when they invaded Ireland and took over Dublin for a time. And so you got a little, if you see where I'm flashing up the picture right there, that is a Viking longboat. And this reminds us of Psalm 23 tonight as we're learning, thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. A table in the presence of my enemies. So, enemy territory, Dublin, Ireland. Now, does anyone know who the Vikings were? Well, they're my favorite football team. You know that, right? Okay, all right. Yes, Antonio? That's right. Arya? Oh, Leif Erikson was a Viking. Okay, yes. And yes, they were from Scandinavia, especially Norway, Sweden, Denmark as well. Yes?
They were a group of soldiers, one of the first soldiers that actually allowed women to fight.
Okay, soldiers that allowed women to fight. All right.
They took over land all across the upper Arctic globe area, Arctic Circle.
Yeah, and they were basically raiders. In fact, the word Viking has to do with raiding. They would raid towns and villages, plundering and looting. And sometimes they would settle down and intermarry with the population where they had conquered. And they did so in Ireland, they did so in England, they did so in France. And they also set up settlements in Iceland and Greenland, and even in America, although not everyone found out about that in Canada. They made some landings there. Leif Erikson was mentioned by Arya, was a Viking, yes. And that was back in like 1000 AD. All right, so yes, the Vikings, they were not very nice people. You did not want to be raided by them, okay? Yes, they were very fierce warriors, scary enemies for anyone that they might be attacking. Well, that reminds me, there's some animals that can be enemies for sheep. We've been talking about sheep and how the Lord is our good shepherd. And unlike some animals that are equipped with defense mechanisms, many animals have teeth that they can defend themselves with, or they can be very fast. You know, some enemies for sheep might be a fox or a coyote or wolf, or something as small as the beetle that we're going to be talking about tonight. Here we have pesky, the woolly aphid. It is an enemy to plants. Pesky reminds us that when we are surrounded by enemies, worry, fear, sadness, we can know that God is always good to us. We can be thankful for who God is and what he's done for us rather than grumbling about our circumstances. Do we grumble or are we grateful? So pesky, that woolly sheep aphid will remind us of that tonight. And there were some other bugs such as nose flies. That's a nose fly right there on the screen here, nose fly, that can bother the sheep. And unlike the cheetah, which can run fast, now sheep could run, that's one of their defense mechanisms would be to run, but they might just scatter and become vulnerable without the shepherd protecting them. And if they're running away from the bugs, that might not help them either. And they don't have the kind of sharp teeth that a wolf would have, or a coyote or other animals. And they don't have a defense mechanism of spraying like a skunk, okay? They don't have a way to scare enemies off by stinking them away like the skunk would. And they don't have camouflage like this moth here, which blends in with surroundings as a defense mechanism. No, not much in the way of defense mechanisms for sheep. So they need someone to help protect them. That would be the shepherd. He watches over the sheep along with his sheepdog, as we learned earlier this week. And let's review what we learned about the Lord as our shepherd so far from Psalm 23. Will you say Psalm 23 with me? Ready? Psalm 23, verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Psalm 23, 2 through 3. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And then last night, Psalm 23, verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Your rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23, verse 4. Psalm 23, verse 5. Thou preparest a table. Okay, will you say that with me? You can say it from the screen as well. Before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup overfloweth, or runneth over. Overflows or runneth over if you're saying it on the King James. All right, very good. So Psalm 23, 5. Now, what's that about for a shepherd? Notice that because the shepherd's watching over the sheep, they can eat in the field without worrying about the enemies that are hiding in the woods, because the shepherd is there, and their rod and their staff comfort them because they know that rod and staff can be used to defend the sheep against those enemies hiding in the woods. So that table that's prepared. At Blarney Castle in Ireland, there are people who bend over backwards, literally, I can't even do it, and stretch over down to kiss a stone that is supposed to give them good luck and receive the gift of gab. And then there's another saying, may the luck of the Irish go with you. And that's a saying to wish people good luck. And you might have heard that before. Someone say, good luck. Instead, we should say, the Lord bless you. That would be more biblical. That'd be better to say, right? And but four-leaf clovers in Ireland, if you find one of these, it's supposed to bring you good luck. Horseshoes. You may have heard of if you hang one up, this is a charm that is said to protect you from bad luck as long as it's pointing the right way. Well, that's not true, right? That's not true. But leprechauns and fairies, these are mythical creatures. You think of a red-bearded guy with a green hat, right? Not luck, not the luck of the Irish. God does, right? Now, God doesn't change. He doesn't change day and forever. He is always